Shelby from Alabama is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to associate first be associated with the remarks of Senator Toomey. He raised a lot of important questions here before the committee today about the nominee. I think he's spot on. I have all those reservations, but I have a couple of questions I'd like to propound to the lady. First of all, I've always thought that economic analysis has served an important role in ensuring regulations in the banking and financial field are efficient and convenient, consistent too. You know, regulations mean things. They got to be fair. For a lot of years here on the Banking Committee, and this is my 35th year on the Banking Committee here, administrations of both political parties, Democrats and Republicans, have worked to improve and to further utilize economic analysis in the regulatory process to try to get it right. You've been critical of the use of economic theory and empirical data as the basis for financial regulation, but that's what we do. In a paper that you wrote in February of 2020, just a little over a year ago, you rejected the idea that good financial regulation is, quote, carefully limited, facially objective, politically neutral, and technically expertise. Do you still believe, Doctor, do you believe that carefully limited, objective, and neutral regulations are bad for our financial system?
Senator, first of all, thank you for this question. I actually believe that you and I share a lot of the same ideas with respect to what should underlie regulatory policy. I agree with you that economic analysis and reliance on empirical data are absolutely critical to smart decision-making by the regulators. This particular paper was a little bit different in what I was trying to do. What I was trying to do was think about how the financial regulators need to change their way of thinking, to broaden their way of thinking now that we are not dealing with regular old stock certificates written on paper, but we're dealing with digital assets. We're dealing with financial technologies that make financial transactions instantaneous. It changes the context in which financial regulators have to do their jobs. My view of the job, particularly of the control of the currency, is to prevent the next crisis. It's to make our banking system safe, sound, strong, and competitive. And in the new context of how technology changes finance, what I was trying to tell my academic fellows and regulators that we need to start maybe broadening our horizons.
Do you still disagree with using economic theory and empirical data for the basis of financial regulation?
Senator, I do not disagree with that and have never disagreed with that. So I believe that I completely understand where you're coming from.
Do you believe that our banking system is the glue that helps hold our market economy together?
Senator, I'm so glad you asked me this question because it gives me an opportunity to reiterate. I absolutely believe that our American banking system, private banks that channel credit into businesses, families, communities, is absolutely critical to our American economy. And we need to do everything in our power to make sure that that system stays strong, competitive, and is subject to the rules of the free and fair market. This is not just an issue of economic progress, it's an issue of national security these days.
Do you believe that the community banks, our smaller independent banks all over this country, contribute greatly to our economic well-being and job creation process?
Senator, I absolutely believe in that and I agree with that. I will never forget, if I may, when I came to America in 1991, I will never forget the first time I opened a checking account at the University of Wisconsin Credit Union, and holding that checkbook in my hand was the symbol of economic autonomy and freedom. And I would not want people of America to lose that.
Some of your testimony here today is in contrast to a lot of your published writings, and that's troubling to me. I'm troubled by your nomination. I know you've got a great story personally, and you're academically qualified. I understand that, but I don't think you fit in this job. I'd hope that that nominate you for some other job that you'd probably be more qualified for. I cannot support you for Comptroller of the Currency. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Menendez from New Jersey.